Is Katie Munshaw. I am from Oshawa, Ontario, and I'm in a band with 3 of my friends who are brothers. They are not my brothers, but they are brothers to each other. And that's enough for me.
Wait, so I'm always curious as to, like, how did you guys meet up with each other?
Yeah, I met my drummer, Charlie, in grade 9. He sat right in front of me in math class, and we became super fast friends. We did the choir together all through high school, talent shows together. And then when it was time for me to graduate, he was like, well, I'm not going to school after high school. I'm going to start a band. Do you want to be in my band? And I was like, I guess. Is that even an option with my life? And it was. And we did our own thing for about a year until we realized that his 2 brothers are a bassist and a guitarist. And we're just like, okay, we need to start a band. And then we did. And that's the band that I am in right now.
And so now you have your newest album that's been out for a couple months.
Yes.
Which is your self-title. I'm always curious as to why you decided to go with the self-title as opposed to changing it to any other options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've kind of been thinking a lot about that recently as well. I think with our first 2 albums, we were so young when we started. We were like 21. And when you're new to anything, it's like really hard to know how you want to... I guess when you're new to music, at least, it's really hard to know how you want to present yourself, how you want to sound. And not just present yourself like in any way, just like you're presenting yourself to be like liked and judged. And it's really, really difficult when you're young and you don't even know who you are. So I think it took us maybe our 3rd album, 2 albums to get to a place where I felt like we were ready to announce ourselves as ourselves, if that makes sense at all. But yeah.
I don't know, it kind of makes sense because it gives you more of an establishment.
Totally.
Be able to say, like, all that shit, that's us.
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I mean, your previous album got you a Juno, which is insane.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky and grateful, and yeah, that was a big one for us, and my mom loves that.
So I'm always curious in terms of, like, when you go up and accept an award such as that, how did the motions going through and going up on stage wise and figuring out, oh shit, should I have actually written a script?
Oh my god. Literally, I think about that quite often. Actually not quite often, but I do think about how blindsided we were when that happened. I think we honestly were there, no offense, Junos, we love you, but we were there for the free drinks because we didn't think we were going to win. And there's also, I think, free food as well that we ravaged. But yeah, we just, I don't know, this... band has no self-confidence, unfortunately. So we just did not see that coming. So yeah, I wish I wrote a speech, but I certainly did not, and it came out all jumbled and silly, and I will not go look at that acceptance speech. It was very dumb.
But it was also super fun at the same time, because it looks like you guys were having a great time, and especially after now knowing that there was free drinks and food right there.
Yeah, it all makes sense now that you know that there were free drinks flowing through us. Yeah.
So with this new album out, it's been a while. I've been kind of curious as to why the face mask.
Yeah.
Because that was like something that I noticed. I'm like, oh, it wasn't there before. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious in terms of what was the purpose behind the mask.
Totally. I think honestly it was just like a defense mechanism. I was feeling pretty anxious about being on camera, especially after 2 years of being in isolation and not really seeing anybody. And when it came time to do visuals for the record, I worked on all the visuals for the record with my friend Ryan. And yeah, I was kind of just being a baby about having to be on camera, and he was like, jokingly said, why don't you just wear a mask then, Katie, haha. And then I was like, actually, that's kind of sick. And then he was like, yeah, maybe it is. And then we kind of went down this rabbit hole on the internet of these women who have sort of covered their face in their art. A big inspiration was Bjork. But just like in other places on the internet, there were just photos of these women who had sort of taken their physical appearance out of the question, and what does that leave you with, I guess, was what we were most interested in. But yeah, and I think it was just a way for me to sort of say, like, song is king, listen to my music for my music, not for any other reason. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably
I
why.
like that.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, how did you find that mask in particular?
Okay, so we scoured the internet for so long, eBay, Etsy, I don't like everywhere. We ended up finding these vintage masks that I became obsessed with. We ordered them on Etsy, but we did not look at the size on them, so they were about this big when they showed up.
Oh no!
So I ended up asking my friend Robin, who is a painter, if she could like try and recreate it in some way. So I ended up buying a paper mache blank mask on Etsy, and she painted it all for me. So it's handmade and very, very special to me. One of a kind. So
That's insane. And I'm, and you've used the mask now for a couple of the music videos. I'm always curious in terms of, with the music videos, are they more of a storyline to connect all three of them with the mask, or are they more of a just like separate pieces?
I'm not sure we really thought about that. I think the first video that came out was Barking Dog, and I really wanted to sort of start there with the mask for this record, just to sort of mark the arrival of the mask. So, but yeah, I think each video was so different, and it was sort of like, does the mask lend itself to this video? Yes, no, okay, let's move forward.
Well, on this tour, I've not seen any footage, nothing. So I am completely blind to what I'm going to be expecting. Is the mask still at home, or is it with you?
It is in the van. I haven't been wearing it. Well, I have worn it to a couple shows. It's kind of like what I feel like that night, interestingly enough. Don't think I will be wearing it tonight, but yeah, I just have it on hand in case I feel like it. It's also just fun. I think people like seeing it in person. But yeah, I obviously can't sing with it on, so I usually, if I do have it, I wear it out and then I take it off, and it's this big reveal. But yeah, it's kind of like night to night. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So with that in mind, this is literally the second from the last show.
Yeah.
I'm always curious in terms of, like, you've been on tour for quite some time so far for this album. I'm always curious as to, like, what was, like, the one show that you felt was, like, to the extreme, like, you don't think you can ever top that kind of a show, and then, like, that low point where you're like, shit.
I don't want to throw any show under the bus.
You don't have to say the state name or the state show, or just.
Oh, okay.
That way we can. Incognito on that one.
Honestly, all of the I really mean this. Every single show has been special in its own way. I think, going back to what I said earlier about this band not having a lot of self-confidence, before we left for tour, I was like, wow, I hope people show up. And every show, people have shown up and bought merch and waited around to say hi at the merch table. So, I mean, there hasn't been a bad part. And even, like, every venue staff has been so helpful and lovely, and each show has gone off without a hitch. That said, I think the best show so far, we had the most fun, I think, in Salt Lake, because we were not expecting anything.
Really?
Similarly, in Denver, we were like, we've never played Denver, we never played Salt Lake, so these might be the low points, and then they ended up being two of my favorite shows, so probably those two were my favorite. I dare not say my least favorite, but honestly there hasn't been a least favorite, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I know with, gosh, you've been on tour for quite some time. I mean, like I told you earlier, my first time seeing you on tour was with support
Yes.
of Tokyo Police Club.
Yeah.
at the Grog Shop, which I don't travel down to Ohio that often. So I'm good friends with a few of the guys from the group. So when I saw you on stage, I'm like, shit. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to catch your show again.
Yes, totally.
And then what was that? I think maybe a month later you win the Juno, and I'm like, shit, I'm never gonna see that girl again.
Oh, look at us, and look at us here.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, those guys are the best.
They're so cool. I'm still surprised by the fact that one of my photos is still on their Spotify profile picture.
Oh really?
Yeah. I was just bringing up to Attica literally earlier today, and I was like, yeah, I did portraits of the group, and they used my photos for Spotify, and that was a couple of years ago. I didn't expect it to still be there.
Yeah, no.
And it's still there. I don't know if you just remember how to remove it or not.
Probably just like the photo, honestly. Honestly, they just like the photo. They're the sweetest guys. Yeah, I live right by Graham. I always see him like while I'm going to the library, and he's like getting coffee, and we're just like, what's good? Yeah, small town Toronto.
Yeah. So I'm curious with that in mind, because granted, Toronto's a huge city, but it's also stupidly tiny at the same time. Yeah. I've only been to Toronto once, and running into people is the weirdest experience.
Yeah.
Besides Graham, was there anybody that you worked with before that you're like, oh shit, they're still here?
They're still here in Toronto?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really worked with that many people. We're so, like, introverted. I don't know. I mean, actually, on the new record, I worked with the lead singer from a Toronto band called Pup. One of the songs on the record I was having a hard time lyrically with on the second verse. It was like everything else was done for the song except for the vocal because I had to finish that second verse, and I have never worked lyrically with anybody before, so I was pretty scared, but I knew that Stefan liked Dizzy, and I knew that he also had worked with a friend of mine in another band from Hamilton, just outside of Toronto, called Chastity. So I was like, maybe he could help me, because I felt very precious about like bringing anybody in, and I knew that I really loved his lyrics, and he was down, and we just like shot voicemails back and forth. We didn't even meet in person, and he helped me finish that song. But I think he does live in Toronto. I guess that's one person.
Alright. Wait, so I'm curious, would that be the most difficult song to write on that album?
For me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that song was a freaking thorn in my side for so long. Also, Birthmark was really hard as well. But yeah.
I am curious as to why you made Birthmark the first song off the album.
Oh, first song, like when you listen.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't my decision. I don't think I would have done that. I think I was like in the democracy of the band, I was sort of outvoted. I think they wanted to like start off with a bang, which Birthmark is definitely a bang for sure.
Well, what would have been your first choice?
What would have been? I think I wanted to start with Salmon Season. It's got like a really spooky intro. I think that's what my vote was for, but I understand where they're coming from, especially like in the age of Spotify when people are just chucking on an album. Like if you don't hook a listener in the first like 2 songs, they're gonna move to the next. Not that you should be thinking that way, but it is a way you do need to consider it, I think. But yeah.
Honestly though, I think Salmon Season would have been a great first song.
Thank you. I wish you were around when we were deciding for an extra hand in the air.
Because I was listening to it, I was like, dude, no, shit, this is great.
Oh, thank you.
And is that going to be one of the songs we're going to be hearing tonight?
No, Salmon Season is not on the set list, I'm sorry.
No. Alright, so I'm at the little part where I have like fun conversation cards.
Okay.
No,
we could interpret it in.
Well, see, like it says, the card itself says, I'm in the minority, but I believe blank.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm in the minority, but I believe. Okay, like unpopular opinion, but.
Which one?
Oh, I actually have one.
All right.
Well, I don't know if it's I'm in the minority, but I'm a cat person and I'm a dog person, but people who don't like cats need to check themselves. I just feel like you need to chill.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit. You're talking to someone who has 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah, it's like people who don't like cats are so like emotional about it. I'm just like, dude, it's just like a little kitty.
It's gonna do nothing.
Exactly.
He's not scratching at the door telling you that he wants to go outside, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's probably mine.
Alright, I like that. That was a good one. What's the biggest lie you've ever told?
Oh my god. I'm not sure I can share that. The biggest lie I've ever told. Oh, I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know. Biggest lie I've ever told.
This could be stupidly.
Yeah. I was gonna say I lied that I had a boyfriend in elementary school, and I can't even remember why I wanted. I guess because I wanted to have a boyfriend. And I was just like, yeah, he goes to another school, and everyone's like, no, he doesn't.
You've
yeah,
never met him.
I don't think I've ever actually admitted to that. So now you have that.
I think that's probably like the most harmless one.
Yeah, well.
No, I totally have a boyfriend. What are you talking about?
Yeah, everybody wants me.
Yes. Number 1 here. Here's what happens when I'm so unorganized. Alright, this one's going. If you were to press shuffle on your music library right now, what would be the first song that would pop on?
Probably there's an artist I think from Portland called Advanced Bass. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
I don't know if they're like still active, but I just recently got into them, so my whole playlist is like all Advanced Bass, so that would probably pop up.
Would that be like on your like top 5 Spotify rap kind of?
It probably will be this year because I can't stop listening to it. Other than that, though, I mean, I love the new Samia record. I've been listening to that nonstop, so maybe that as well. Yeah.
Here, what do you regret not doing?
What do I regret not doing? I feel like this leads back to like why we have named this new album Dizzy, but I think I regret not like standing up for my own creative ideas for the first bit of our career, and not that we were ever taken advantage of or anything like that, or we've always been really lucky to work with people who just want to like help and support our ideas, but I think there is like a part of it that like you need enough confidence to sort of make your ideas known, which I regret not having that confidence earlier. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can totally get that, because it's one of those kind of things is, yeah, you wish you could do it back then, but now, I would say, do you feel more confident now, or you still feel that same bridge? Like you're still on that bridge? Yeah,
I definitely feel a lot more confident. I mean, I'm not 100%, but yeah, more so, and I think it'll just get, easier as I get older, probably. Yeah.
Here. We'll do one last one, and that's going to be, name this chapter of your life, what would you call it?
Boy. Naming this chapter of my life, oh my god, there's so many things I could say. I don't know. See, you can't ask me these questions because I take them too seriously. Maybe it should be, you need to learn how to chill the F out, girl.
Honestly, that would make a good chapter.
Yeah, take a chill pill. Actually, I'm not sure I should say chill pill anymore. That's not. Maybe take that out. I don't think that's a PC term anymore. I don't know.
It's been a moment.
Yeah. But great. Is that good then?
Yeah, and then I guess my normal basic question at the end is, the album's out. Where can we be able to find you?
Yeah, where can people find me? We are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the things. You can find me somewhere being annoying online. TikTok! Oh yeah, follow me on TikTok, please. That's number one.
All right, and with that, we're done.
Thank you! Oh wow, that was so fun. Thank you.